All right, students, this is a quick tutorial on longhand multiplication and longhand division, because for your quiz coming up, your team quiz, you're going to have to do everything, all your computations by hand. And so I'm going to go over your fourth grade math, and I'm going to show you a computation called Lattice, which honestly, some of you haven't seen before, and I find very helpful. First off, we're going to go over traditional, if you will, traditional multiplication. So let's say I'm totally making these numbers up, 4,520 times 339. Okay, so we're going to do this longhand multiplication. This is what it would look like. So I'm going to switch colors as we do this. 9 times 0, that's 0. 9 times 2 is 18, carrying the 1. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 1, that's 6, carry the 4. And then 9 times 4 is 36, plus 4, that's 40. Then you put a 0 there. We're going to go this way. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 1, that is 13. 2 zeros. 1, 2. And now we're doing 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. And straight down, that's 0, that's 8, that's 12, carry the 1, that's 5, plus 1 is 6, plus 6 again is 12, carry the 1, that's 4, and 4 is 8, plus 5, that's 13, carry the 1, and 2 and 3, that's 5, and count the zeros, 1, 2, 3. And so that is 1,532,280. Now, using lattice, it would look like this. This is what we're going to do is what's called a 4 by 3. So using grid paper, we are going to make a 4 by 3 rectangle. So I'm going to use my dots here. That's going to be 4 by 3, 4 by 3. And I'm going to put my one number here, 4,520 there. And I'm going to put 339 there. Trick to lattice is you have to make diagonal lattice, which connects these opposite corners. I'm just going to drag it out. Opposite corners. So eyeballs going down this way, connecting the corners. Lattice seems like a lot of work when you set it up, but once you're set up, it actually, in my opinion, goes much faster. So 0 times 3 is 0. So that's a 0 in the tens place and a 0 in the ones place. 2 times 3 is 6. So that's the ones place, and a 0 goes in the tens place. 5 times 3 is 15. So I have a 1 in the tens place and a 5 in the ones place. 4 times 3 is 12. So a 1 in the tens place and a 2 in 12's place. Next line, I'm going to do this silently. You should see, because it's the same number repeated. Simply the same thing. And 0 to 9, that's 0 in both. 2 times 9 is 18. 5 times 9, 45. 4 times 9 is 36. Let me bring this in here. And now you just add down the diagonals. That's going to be 0, going this way. 0 plus 0 plus 8. 0 plus 0 plus 6. Plus 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. So 5, and you have to carry the 1. Make sure you carry it to the right spot. Right there. That's 7. 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 plus 6 is 22. Carry the 2. And that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. Carry the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1. And then you kind of bring your numbers down. I'm bringing them down this way. So I have a 1, a 5, a 3, a 2, a 5, an 8, a 0. And lo and behold, ta-da, it is the same number. So that is traditional multiplication and lattice multiplication. Now I'm going to show you just lattice with decimals. Just lattice using decimals. Let's pretend we're using money. So I am doing $3.50, and I'm going to times it by 1.75. You know what? Let me do a both decimal. I'm going to do a single decimal. So let's say I have $15.85 for a book, and I am purchasing 23 books. Now, vast majority of you would be grabbing calculators for this. I'm going to show you how to do that without a calculator. So using lattice, this is a 4 by 2. Four by 2. And that's 1585. And I'm going to bring the decimal right there. And then 23. Corner to corner. All right, 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 2 is 16. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 3 is 15. 8 times 3 is 24. 5 times 3 is 15. And 1 times 3 is 3. Go down this way. This is 5. That's 5. 1 plus 6 is 7, 8, 9, and plus 5 is 14. Carry the 1, 1, 2, 3, plus 3, that's 6, and 3. Now, here with only 1 in the lattice, you just simply drop it straight down. It's going to go right there. And it is $365.55. Now, what's nice is you can kind of just estimate this a little bit. All right. Estimate it just a little bit. You can kind of take a look here. So the estimation is this is about, 16. And let's just times it by 20, and that's going to be 32.0. So I know I'm above 320 plus the 3. So you can kind of get a feel if you just do a quick little estimation that yes, it's about where it should be. Because if I add 3 more times the 16, that's 48, and that would be 368. But I know that's not exactly 16. So again, that's an estimate. So just round your numbers and do an easy estimate. I call that an easy estimate check. Just double check because you're not allowed a calculator and I don't want you checking against a calculator. Now we're going to do one where there's 2 decimals. So we are going to do, let's say I have 353 times 1.75. This is going to be a 3 by 3 for lattice. So 3.53, like so, by 3 this way, 1.75. Very important that you put your decimals pretty prominent when you do this. All right, let's bring down our lattice work. Now, just do the multiplication just as normal. 3 times 1. 5 times 1. 3 times 1. Keep going. 3 times 7, 21. 5, 35. 3 times 7 here again, 21. And the last one here, 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 5, 25. 3 times 5, 15. So 5, 7. That's 5 plus 5 is 10. That's 17. Carry the 1. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1 here, 6. Now, where does the decimal go? When you have two decimals, you need to correspond them together. So they kind of meet like this, right there at that diagonal, and you drag it down, and that's where it would be. Your decimal would be right there. So it's 6.1775. Again, your easy estimate is this, okay? This is close to 2-ish. This is close to, if we're rounding this up, we're going to round that down 3-ish, and 2 times 3 is 6-ish. So kind of do your little easy estimate there. So that is multiplying using 2 decimals for lattice. Last but not least, let's do some division problems. I'm not going to give a real life problem here. Let's say that I have a tree, and I'm going to just be making these numbers up here. I've got some sun. And I have a tree shadow. Let's say the shadow of the tree is 10.5 feet. And I have a person. Person's shadow. Let's say the person's shadow is 8.75. And the person's height is 6 feet. And let's see, 3 inches would make it 0.25 feet. And I tell you they're similar, and the goal is to solve for x. Okay, first order of business is we're going to set it up here. The triangles are going to be similar by angle. Anything against the ground has a right angle, and this angle towards the sun, because it's the same going up in the same direction. So technically they're parallel lines, which would make these angles corresponding. So that means they are similar by angle similarity. So I'm going to go left to right. I'm going to go x over 6.25 equals 10 over 10.5 times 8.75. Okay, we cross multiply. 8.75 equals 6.25 times 10.5. And there's an x here. Notice I'm not exactly multiplying. You don't start your computations until you get x by itself. So I'm going to get rid of this. 8.75. 8.75. So X is going to be 6.25 times 10.5 divided by 8.75. So we're going to do that math in the margin here. So my first lattice is going to be a 3 by 3. I'm doing the top first. Six 0.25, 10.5. Notice my decimals are very prominent. And corner to corner, 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 corner. There we go. Now you just do your math, right to left. I'm going to do it quietly because I think you're starting to get the hang of this. Zero times anything is going to be 0 all the way across. Now you go ahead and you follow down. That's going to be 5, 2, 6, 5, 6. And you're going to align those decimals up right here. So I have 65.625. Let's just do a quick estimate check, 65.625. You can tell that if we were to round up this to an 11 and keep that at 6, 11 times 6 is 66. So I know my 65.625 is pretty close. We're going to divide by 8.75. 8.75. Okay, so it looks like this 65.625 and 8.75. Okay. We need to get rid of the decimal here. We're going to bounce it over twice. And if we bounce it over twice here, we bounce it over twice here. Bring this up. So our decimal is going to start there. I'm going to start with a little guess and check. We have basically 800 does not go into 656. We're going to go all the way across and take it into 6,562. And the key to this is close to 9 and 65. So 9 goes into 65, 7-ish. So we're going to try 7 first. So 7. 7 times 5 is 35. I'm going to carry the 3. 7 times 7 is 49. Plus 3 is 52. So 2. Carry the 5. And 7 times 8 is 56. Plus 5, 61. Looky there. I am good. Now we need to borrow from that. It's 5. That's 12. That's 7. That's 5 minus 2 is 3. This is 4. Bring down the 5. Okay, so now you're kind of looking here. I'm taking 8 into 43-ish. And that's more like 9 into 43 because that's 8.7. So I'm kind of visualizing a 9 there. And so that's only going to be 4. So I'm going to try 4, see how that works. 4 times 5 is 20, so 0, carry the 2. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 2 is 30. Carry the 3. 4 times 8 is 32, 33, 34, 35. And we're going to minus. Okay, here, so now I'm going to subtract. That's 5, that's 7, carry the 1. And 5 goes into, or 5 minus 13 is 8, 7. Oh, looky there, friends. It's even. 1, 875 and 0. So that is longhand division with decimals.